What's up, guys? Steady Striker here. And this weekend, Petr Yan is going to be taking on merab. I'm not going to say his last name, it's complicated and I don't want to disrespect him. But Merab's a great fighter. Petr Yan's a great fighter. These are two top five bantamweights going at it. And in my opinion, I think that Petr Yan is going to get the stoppage by TKO in round 4 against merab. I think that he, coming off his last two fights, like the split decision to Aljo, which I thought he actually did lose, and then the split decision to Mali, which I could see either guy winning that fight. It was pretty close, but I still thought that Yan won. And during those last two fights, I think it's gonna make Petr Yan he's already quite aggressive, but it's gonna make him fight smarter because obviously in those other two fights not in the Mali fight, but the two Sterling fights, you could say it might have been a lack of fight IQ, the way he was giving his back to Sterling and of course the illegal knee. And I think Yan is gonna be more sharp and focused in this fight. I think he's gonna be more prepared for the grappling in merab. He's obviously in his last fight with Sean O'Malley, he showed quite a bit of offensive takedown stuff. And he was able to beat Sean O'Malley through his grappling. And merab, that's gonna be his main thing. Because if you look at merab's career, his striking is not bad. He's got good punches, good kicks. He's pretty fast, but he kind of has a rhythm and a certain timing to his strikes. And I think I was able to see it a bit in some of his previous fights. He doesn't throw the same technique, but he'll off the same rhythm, he'll throw a different technique. So you can kind of tell when he's about to throw certain shots. And with Petr Yan, he's got a deceptive rhythm. He'll make it seem like he's gonna defend, and then he'll explode and go into attacks. Or sometimes you'll think he's gonna throw a lead hand attack, or he'll throw a backhand attack and then shift into something else. And I just think his Petr Yan striking is just more diverse than merab, and much more educated and effective. I think he's gonna be able to I think early on merab's probably gonna try to put that pressure on Yan, but Yan's gonna use that to kind of he's gonna let merab kind of go after him. And merab's going to try a few takedowns that I think is going to get defended. And giving merab's energy this week, I don't know if you guys saw, but he was talking trash about Petr Yan. He seems to have hate for him for whatever reason. Doesn't really make sense, but he seems like he wants to really get at him. He was calling him the B word, saying he's a bad person, and saying how he was saying some stuff about how about Russians and the war with Ukraine. I don't know how that relates to Petr Yan, but that's what merab was saying, and yeah, just all types of stuff about him. But I think it's gonna make merab want to strike a bit more with him. Obviously, the Petr Yan's takedown defense is gonna make him more of a striking fight. But given that merab was saying all that stuff, I don't think he's just gonna hold him up against the fence for 5 rounds if he's gonna talk like that. But even then, he was able to do it versus Jose Aldo. But I don't think he can do it for 5 rounds against Petr Yan. He's actually gonna be throwing bombs in his face. Petr Yan also has great cardio. He's gonna be able to hang in there for 5 rounds. Merab hasn't been 5 rounds yet. But, everyone talks about how he's a machine. He never gets tired. And one reason why I think that is because I think he's on steroids. Because if you look at some of his fights, at some points where you see his back, it's covered in with back acne. Which is obviously unless you're going through puberty, that's just not it's not natural to have something like that going on. And You can also tell on his face he looks much older. But the back needs mainly like a side effect of performance enhancing drugs. Uh, Marvin Vittori had it. He tested for USADA. Kamaru Usman had it, or he has it, and he hasn't tested positive. But people speculate that he's on PDs, but Merab, I think he is on them, but I don't think it's gonna matter in this fight because I think Petr Yan is gonna be like fighting more ferociously, like and more calculated and more like focused as well. I don't think he's gonna want this fight to get to a decision. I think after his last few fights, getting robbed like that, I think this is a pretty good matchup for him. And I think it's probably gonna look a bit like the Petr Yan started Jimmy Rivera, like kind of like his Merab. He's like similar stature, but obviously he's gonna try to pressure him. But eventually, when his striking is not working, when his grappling is not working, he's gonna start getting hit, and then he's gonna start getting hurt, and I think he's gonna get stopped in the fourth round. He's gonna get tired as well. Petr Yan's not gonna fade. Like there's a lot more time for him to work. It's not gonna he's not gonna be fighting with his emotion like Merab is, and that's why I think Merab's gonna get stopped.